Welcome to Diana the Storyteller channel. Let's jump right into the story. It all started on a quiet Tuesday morning at a small tech startup in downtown Austin. The place had been buzzing with stress for weeks. "We're burning cash faster than we're making it," grumbled Lucas, the company's CEO, during their morning team huddle. His once bold dream of revolutionizing electric scooters had hit a wall, and things were looking grim. Employees sat at their desks with furrowed brows and slouched shoulders. Designs weren't working, code kept crashing, and no investor wanted to touch them. The vibes, downright miserable. That's when Elliot, the scruffy new consultant with thick glasses and a scraggly beard, walked in. He wore a faded hoodie with some obscure sci-fi logo on it and a pair of sneakers that had definitely seen better days. "Hey folks, name's Elliot," he said in a laid-back tone, flashing an awkward smile. "Heard you needed help with, tech stuff?" Lucas frowned. "Yeah. We're having some issues with our prototype scooters." Elliot nodded enthusiastically. "Sweet, love problems. Mind if I poke around?" Now, what nobody knew was that Elliot was actually Elon Musk himself. Yes, the same billionaire who built Tesla, launched SpaceX, and casually decided to buy Twitter. For weeks, Elon had been itching to go hands-on with small startups again, just like in his early days. Disguising himself as an average tech geek was part of his wild experiment to see how creative companies actually functioned without his intimidating billionaire aura. Despite his humble appearance, it didn't take long for Elliot, to start raising eyebrows. By lunchtime, he was sitting cross-legged on the floor with the engineering team, suggesting ways to fix faulty battery packs and recalibrating their scooter software. "Have you guys tried integrating a magnetic braking system?" Elliot casually suggested, munching on a sad-looking burrito. The engineers blinked at each other. Magnetic brakes? That was next-level thinking. Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that there was something off about this guy. Sure, he was nerdy, but there was this strange confidence in the way he solved problems, like he'd done this 100 times before. By the end of the day, Elliot had not only improved the scooter's efficiency by 30%, but had also figured out why their app kept crashing. The whole team was in shock. Lucas pulled him aside. "Dude, where the hell did you come from?" Elliot grinned mischievously. "Just a fan of electric stuff, I guess." Little did they know, this was only the beginning of a game-changing journey for their struggling startup. Lucas had always prided himself on being perceptive. Something about Elliot didn't add up. The way he spoke with authority on futuristic tech concepts, the occasional slip of industry jargon, and the uncanny resemblance to someone very familiar. One morning, as Lucas sat at his desk reviewing investor pitches, chaos broke out. Word spread like wildfire. A major investor was dropping by unexpectedly to evaluate their latest e-scooter prototype. Lucas panicked. The design wasn't ready, and glitches in the battery system still needed fixing. "I guess we're winging it," Lucas muttered, pulling the frazzled team together for an emergency presentation. Elliot stood quietly in the background watching. As Lucas stumbled through the pitch, the investor's frown deepened. The atmosphere grew tense, and whispers of doubt rippled through the room. Just as it seemed all was lost, Elliot cleared his throat and stepped forward. "Mind if I jump in?" he asked calmly, without waiting for permission. Elliot walked confidently to the front, explaining complex technical features and painting an inspiring vision for the future of urban transport. His charisma was magnetic. Every word captivated the room. Lucas's jaw dropped. This guy isn't just some random consultant, he thought. After a stunning presentation, Elliot casually wrapped up with, "Trust me, it's going to change the world." The investor nodded thoughtfully, his expression softening. "You've convinced me," he said. "I'll double my initial offer." The room erupted into cheers, but Lucas couldn't shake the gnawing feeling in his gut. He had to get to the bottom of this mystery. Lucas had always prided himself on being perceptive. Something about Elliot didn't quite add up, the way he spoke with authority about advanced technologies, the occasional slip of highly specific industry jargon, and the quiet but commanding presence he carried. Not to mention his lean frame, tousled hair, and slightly intense stare seemed oddly familiar. But Lucas brushed it off. Maybe Elliot was just a genius who preferred blending into the background. That morning, Lucas was knee-deep in project reports when chaos erupted in the office. News spread like wildfire. A top-tier investor was dropping by unexpectedly to evaluate their latest prototype e-scooter. Are you serious right now? Lucas groaned, running a hand through his already messy hair. Why today of all days? The prototype wasn't ready for prime time. The new lithium battery system was glitchy, and the automated safety lock kept jamming. If the investors saw it malfunction, funding for the project could tank. Team meeting in 5, Lucas barked, gathering everyone in the conference room, including Elliot, who had his usual unbothered expression. We have no choice but to wing it, Lucas said grimly. We'll focus on the vision, avoid deep dives into the tech. Elliot leaned casually against the wall. Why not just tell the truth? Lucas shot him a glare. Because that's career suicide. A tense silence filled the room as the investor arrived, a sharply dressed older man with a clipboard and an air of authority. His eyes swept the room before settling on Lucas. Let's see what you've got, the investor said curtly. The presentation began. Lucas did his best, glossing over the incomplete aspects of the prototype and pitching the grand vision instead. But the investor's frown deepened with every passing minute. The atmosphere grew stifling. Sweat beaded on Lucas's forehead as he stumbled through technical explanations. Whispers rippled through the team. People exchanged nervous glances. Then, just as Lucas was about to concede defeat, Elliot cleared his throat and stepped forward with a confident smile. Mind if I jump in? He asked, not waiting for permission. Before Lucas could stop him, Elliot took over the presentation. He spoke with unmatched clarity, breaking down complex technical features in a way that made the investors' eyes widen with interest. He painted a compelling vision of how their product could revolutionize urban transport, weaving in data points and market insights that no one had even shared with him. Who is this guy? Lucas thought, stunned. The once skeptical investor leaned forward, nodding thoughtfully. And that's why this design, even in its early stage, has unlimited potential, Elliot finished smoothly. Trust me, it's going to change the world. The room went silent for a moment. Then the investor smiled. I'm impressed. I'll double my initial offer. The room erupted into cheers. Lucas felt a rush of relief but couldn't shake the gnawing suspicion in his gut. He turned to Elliot, who stood calmly amid the celebration like he'd just solved a minor problem. Elliot, Lucas said, narrowing his eyes, we need to talk. The mysterious consultant just smiled knowingly. Sure thing, boss. Lucas knew one thing for certain: Elliot wasn't just some random guy, and Lucas was determined to find out the truth. Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that something about Elliot was off, too knowledgeable, too invested, too familiar. You seem to know a lot more than just coding and strategy for some random consultant, Lucas said, narrowing his eyes. Elliot smiled slyly, brushing off Lucas's comment. Maybe I just read too much, he replied casually, though the playful tone in his voice suggested otherwise. As the meeting wrapped up and the mysterious investor left, Lucas couldn't hold back his curiosity any longer. He caught up to Elliot by the door. Wait a second, Lucas demanded. Who are you really? Elliot paused, then turned with a grin. Figured it out yet? Lucas's jaw dropped as realization dawned. No way. Elliot pulled off his fake glasses and subtly nodded. It's been fun, but yeah, I've got a rocket launch to attend. It hit Lucas like a ton of bricks. Elon Musk? You were Elliot the whole time? Elon laughed softly. I wanted to see how things really work at ground level, without the entourage, PR people, or security hovering around. Lucas was speechless, the surreal nature of the moment sinking in. But why us? You guys are onto something great, Elon said sincerely. Too many people look for polished, ready-made success. I wanted to find someone who just needed a push. Lucas couldn't believe it. This is crazy. Crazy is what changes the world, Elon said, extending a hand. You're doing great things, Lucas. Keep pushing. As quickly as he had appeared, Elon walked away, blending into the bustling street like any other regular guy. 2 weeks later, Lucas's inbox exploded with investor interest, thanks to a tweet from Elon Musk himself. Met some brilliant minds in disguise. Keep your eyes on Technova. Future innovators right here. Lucas smiled as he reread the tweet, grateful for the wild ride that all started with one mysterious man in a hoodie named Elliot. In the end, what stood out wasn't just Elon Musk's genius or business acumen. It was his humility and compassion. Disguising himself as just another guy showed that true leadership isn't about titles or appearances, but about understanding the challenges others face firsthand. By stepping into the shoes of his employees, he demonstrated that kindness, curiosity, and a willingness to listen are the real keys to innovation and success. Hope you enjoyed the story. See you in the next video. Take care.